One of the things we learn in business is to weigh up the profit and the loss, the cost and the benefit of something. Have you done that with your own life as well? G'day everyone, Brian here. When Paul is writing to his friends at Philippi, he's warned them to be careful of those who will seek to trip them up, those who take pride in their Jewish heritage, and now are saying to these new Christian people, oh, by the way, remember Jesus is a Jewish Messiah, so to be a real follower of Jesus, you need to be Jewish and take on all the Jewish law. And part of that is circumcision. Now, circumcision might be okay for an 8-day-old baby, but for a 40-year-old bloke, that's a whole other story. And nobody wants to go there. Paul can speak about his own experience and weighing up profit and loss, because the things that he thought were a profit, the things that he thought were great, he now doesn't think that way anymore. Here is how he responds to those people who are seeking to add something to Jesus. He says of himself, I myself have reasons for such confidence in the flesh. If anyone thinks he has reasons to put confidence in the flesh, I have more. And here he lists them off. Circumcised on the 8th day, of the people of Israel, of the tribe of Benjamin, a Hebrew of Hebrews, in regard to the law, a Pharisee, as for zeal, persecuting the church, as for legalistic righteousness, faultless. Now all these things would seem great to people that Paul was originally appealing to. He was circumcised on the 8th day, as good Jewish boys would be. He was part of the people of Israel, which is great. In fact, he was part of the tribe of Benjamin. And if you know the story, you'll know. But if you don't know the story, Benjamin was the son of Jacob's favourite wife. And so to be part of the tribe of Benjamin just has that little extra goodness to it. He describes himself as a Hebrew of Hebrews. In regard to the law, he was a Pharisee. Now that's a word we don't like, but at the time that Paul was growing, that would have been a real goal for him to be, a Pharisee. As for zeal, persecuting the church, that's how important the law of God was to him. He saw the church as something that was wrong and needed to be cut out like a cancer. As for legalistic righteousness, faultless. If he felt that the Bible and the law called him to do something, he did it. And then he met Jesus. And now he says, but whatever was to my profit, I now consider loss for the sake of Christ. Whatever was to my profit, I now consider loss for the sake of Christ. You might be in the same position where, like Paul, you could list off a whole lot of things that make you special amongst your group of people. Remember, Paul is here speaking not about his business skills, though he clearly had some, but his profit in the religious world. And maybe that's you. Maybe you are someone who can talk about being a 7th generation Christian or a 10th generation Presbyterian. Maybe you are able to look back and say, my grandfather was a minister, my father was an elder, I attended this school. But it doesn't matter. You see, for Paul, he could put all these things together and find that they counted for nothing compared to what Christ had given him. He put it all aside so he could have Jesus. We would urge you to do the same. Don't add anything to Jesus. You don't need to. Keep your eyes on Jesus, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.